Hey guys and gals, you know I forgot the date, but it's Saturday, my God, January something. You hear the bike idling. I'm gonna go for a little ride today. It's been almost a month. I haven't felt well, and the weather's been either inclement or just cold. And I wanted to apologize to y'all. I played back the I watched the birthday ride a couple times, and my God, all I did was bitch. So I had a great time. All rides are great, but I complain too much, I guess. So I'll just say it once today, hopefully. Still not feeling well, feeling a little better. I'm clammy as hell. I've sweated through a bunch of my clothes. I gotta go to Walgreens anyway for my nausea med, which I let expire, which is probably one of the reasons I felt so bad the last week. Anyway, so I'll try to not to, I don't know when I turn into such a candy ass. Secondly, the car runs. So for my San Joaquin County fam, if you need a mobile locksmith, especially a mobile auto locksmith, the Key Guy, and you can look him up on Google, $300. He returned my call right away. He told me my options. He said it may or may not work. I called Chase Chevrolet, the dealer we bought it from, and they couldn't see me for at least 4 or 5 weeks. So I gambled the $300 that the guy ordering a new key cylinder would do the job, and it did. My battery was dead, and he had a little jump box so he could reprogram keys, and he was able to jump the car. So it turns out it wasn't a screwdriver. My neighbors snapped a drill bit inside the keyhole. That's why the key wouldn't go in. I didn't need the entire car reprogrammed, but he mated the key with the new ignition cylinder, and everything's fine. So the Key Guy. Now I'm not gonna put all my camera and stuff on yet. I need to go down the block to Walgreens, and this is Stockton. So I do want to point out the other epiphany I had when I was sitting on the porch or on my patio about 4 bowls deep was, when you look at the speedometer and you look at it in between this stop and when I stopped for fuel in Lockford, that you're going to see the speedometer needle move, and you're going to see the little red arrow move. Now this whole time I couldn't figure out why the arrow wasn't, you know, in a compass, the arrow or the needle moves magnetic north, but on this the needle moves in your direction, and north is always up like on a regular map. And it took me forever to figure this out, because I couldn't figure out why, when I know I'm heading west or east, it's pointing to the right or to the left, because I'm about as smart as a Dalmatian, and only within the last week or two did I figure out, holy shit, it's the direction you're riding, dude. It's not like a traditional compass. So there you go. Oh, and I'm down over a quart of oil, so I gotta stop and buy some more. I'm gonna have the oil changed to 3,000 miles, and I'm going to make them write it down on the service report. So I'm really not happy about this, but here we are. I'm gonna go for a ride. I'm gonna stop at Walgreens. Then when I am not in the middle of crime-infested Stockton, I'll put the cameras back on. I'll do a little bit of road footage so you can see the arrow I'm talking about, and we'll see what's next. before we even get gas is that what used to be the golf course called Lockford Springs. And this right here over the berm used to be looking up towards the tee box from the green of hole number 1. I golfed here 2 or 3 times. It was a really nice course. When we lived here in the 90s, you can see now where those vines are. That's the 2nd hole. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's less water to grow grapes than to maintain a green 18 holes of green grass. I don't know if play dropped off. I suspect that has something to do with it. There's a lot of people aging out of golf, or just 20s and 30 somethings are not interested in 5 hours on a Saturday and having to spend time to develop the skill set to even get out on the course. So on one of the earlier clips, I rode by French Camp Golf Course where the RV park is, and I pointed out, at least on the film, on the film while I was riding, another dead golf course. So I wanted to point this out. It's the 8th of January, and I'm heading to Lockford to get gas, and we'll see what's next. Our next stop, about 20 after 12 on the 8th of January, finds us in Lockford at the Chevron station with the extra mile. Gas was $4.99 a gallon. I filled up my cups. I went to the bathroom. I dug through some stuff. I took a bunch of meds. Walgreens was just a never-ending nightmare. I'm going to go down Jack Tone Road. Yeah, I don't know who Jack Tone was, and I looked it up on Wikipedia, and there's no entry for him. So I don't know who the guy was, but he's important enough to have a fairly major road in rural San Joaquin County. I think it's J5, named after him. So we're going to go get on Jack Tone Road. I swapped out the memory chips on the 2 cameras, so I've got more time on the dash cam GoPro. Somehow I didn't erase everything. I'm not quite sure how I screwed this up, but I'll figure it out when I get back to Shady Pines. So we'll see what's next. Well, my next stop finds us at Cycle Specialties in Modesto, where I bought my Spyder RT Limited. And I was here, I checked the oil this morning. Now, y'all of my vintage know you check your oil cold and you check it first thing in the morning, because all the oil is has flowed from the head down to the sump, and that's where the dipstick sticks into. Well, I'm here to buy 2 quarts of oil because I checked it this morning and it wasn't even on the stick. So I went to the service guy and I asked him, okay, what exact oil do I need? And then I asked him, you know, what is the acceptable oil consumption on this motor? And one of the service guys was standing right there, and they asked, well, how much have you used? And I said, well, I'm buying my 2nd and 3rd quart. And he said, how are you checking it? Well, I said, I'm checking it cold. Well, no, these have a dry sump, which I don't quite understand, but I'm gonna have to bring myself up to speed. And you check these hot. You don't check them cold. I didn't know this. I'm gonna have to educate myself here. Anyway, Don in service, God love this guy, walked out, pulled the stick, wiped it, checked it. It's at the top. It's even slightly overfilled. It's at the top of where it should be. And he explained it. No, you check it hot. You don't check it cold. It's not like anything else you've ever ridden. So all the griping I did about burning oil, little education goes a long way. So it's not consuming oil, though I did have to add a quart, which probably in a new motor is not out of the question, but I may not even have been all that low because I checked it cold. So that really brightens up my day. I'm a lot happier about this. And I'm going to, I may get a little something to eat. I'm kind of hungry. Well, I need to sit too, so. Yeah, I don't want to bitch, but I think I need to take a break. But my God, I'm really happy about this. And there's one more thing about the GoPro. I noticed, especially on the birthday ride, you know, on the Rove, it films, if you're riding for an hour, it breaks it up into a certain size file. On the GoPro, it's about 8 minutes and change. Well, I noticed, especially on the birthday ride, that it wasn't filming consistently. And I wasn't sure why, and I got to thinking, well, it might have something to do with to charge while I'm riding, I have to keep the little panel that covers the battery and the USB-C port open or off so I can stick the power on. Well, I got to thinking maybe the vibrations have moved the battery, it runs out of juice and it dies. I'm not picking up on this. So it may or may not be it. So I bought the media adapter through GoPro, thinking that it's going to hold everything in and I can still plug in the power to the USB-C port. So I'm going to try that. So we're going to see today if I have a consistent flow of video files or if it's something else. So it turned out to, oh, I'm pretty happy I stopped at Cycle Specialties, and I'm glad that I bought it here now, because I know that all that tweaking about the oil, may not have been as necessary as it needed to. So we'll see what's next.